OSRS Gridmaster is out. A limited time game mode where we have a bingo board of 49 tiles to complete with league relic rewards, XP multipliers, and overall everything is very quickly paced. I finished this entire board in 18 hours. Assuming you guys have seen Leagues gameplay, get ready to see Leagues within Leagues. The first choice is to pick our Gatherer relic, and we decided to choose the pickaxe first. Of course, there was a tile for completing the final floor of Security Stronghold, where everyone went with 10 HP. I already used both my shrimp and bread on the previous floors, but thankfully we did not kiss the floor and survived. Equip any boots in the Stronghold of Security, completed. Just within a couple minutes, we already have a teleport relic, the Fairy's Flight, which will get us all around the map. The Echo Pickaxe that we chose mines an ore every 2 ticks and also turns it into a bar, plus banks it, and there's a chance that the rock doesn't deplete. It only took us about a minute to get level 15. My real early game plan was to rush 50 thieving, as there were big unlocks behind that. Of course, that shouldn't take long. We pickpocketed men to level 5 thieving in Lumbridge, and then we went to the tea stall until level 25. Thanks to Fairy's Flight being so accessible early on, we were then able to teleport to Assidious and do fruit stalls. I planned to do this method anyway, but it ended up being a tile regardless, so that's another tile completed. I did not know about this until 20 minutes before release, as no one did, but that fruit stall gave us a thieving relic, Dodgy Deals. This allows me to pickpocket anything with a 0% fail chance, and also stalls, when you thieve them, don't disappear. This made my plan to rush 50 thieving even faster. I definitely do wish I made more inventory space, but whatever, as we're only here for a couple minutes anyway. There is 40 thieving, onto the next. At 40 thieving we can auto pickpocket guards because of that relic, which gives me some AFK time to review our next plans and goals. Because nobody knew exactly how early it would take for us to be this powerful, there's a lot of rerouting and immediate decision making for the full board. That is 50 thieving complete, and now we are about to zoom. Steal a valuable from a house in Voldemort, completed. This is huge. This gives us Golden God, which means infinite GP. This relic allows us to alch without needing 55 magic. On top of that, we have a chance to save items as we alch them, which means we can pretty much alch any shop item for profit, starting from steel plate bodies and working our way up as we get more capital. We also had to drive by the gemstone crab, as there is another tile locked behind that, and while waiting for it to despawn, we can mine some iron ores for 40 mining. Witness the gemstone crab burrow away, completed. That rewarded us with a scroll to link together 3 skills to train, where whenever I gain XP in one skill, I gain 50% of that XP in 2 other skills. I decided to choose Agility, Slayer, and Thieving. The logic behind this was that Thieving was easy to train, and Agility and Slayer will not be, so I can just thieve for Agility and Slayer XP. Drink a Steam Forge brew within the Stick Your Ore In, tile completed. Just northeast of that bar, there were some rocks, so I could finish 40 mining and mine a gold ore for another tile completion. The 40 mining reward was to choose another Gatherer relic, and I chose woodcutting as my second. We're not even an hour in yet, and I already have 2 of the Gatherer relics. This is what I mean by this might be a leagues inside of a leagues. Very powerful. Just like the pickaxe, the packs gives us crazy good chop rates, 3 ticks per chop, and auto burn / auto fletch for the logs. Given how quick it was to get this, there was no real reason to train woodcutting before. Everything is so quick. We need money to make money. In the very early stages, we can alch all bagged plants for profit. Trying my best to do quick small tasks in between alching, I threw a gnome ball as that was a tile to give the agility relic, Corner Cutter. This gives me Silverhawk boots, which give me agility XP while running around and wearing them. What a lot of people don't know is that these boots are actually very minimal in the grand scheme of things. Whether the bingo is 1 day or 7 days, the agility XP you get from them is so minuscule when everything else is so fast. The ideally one and only quest we have to do, which isn't really required, it just skips training early fishing, Sea Slug. This will train us to level 40-ish. Somehow lost the clip, but at level 45 woodcut with the axe, we chopped a maple tree, which gave us our 3rd gatherer relic, the harpoon. That, with the Sea Slug quest that gave us a requirement for Tempo Ross, we went to Tempo for a kill, which was yet another task. I just barely managed to one down it in a duo, but Subdue Tempo Ross tile completed. That Tempo Ross tile gave us the Craftsman's Scroll, which just like the Gatherer one, we get to choose 3 skills to link together. I am choosing Cooking, Runecraft, and Herblore. The logic is that cooking is fast, so I will be able to train Runecraft and Herblore through it, which might be questionable. And now it is time to train cooking with my 67k cash sack. We can buy raw food at Port Piscalarius because in leagues, shop stocks don't go down. Back to the money situation. One of the bagged plants, a tall fancy hedge, alks are 30k, which is another tile. Gain 30k GP from 1 alk spell. Now, not even 2 hours into the league, that alking tile gave us Production Master, which means we can auto-produce full inventories in 1 action, cooking being one of them. Because I linked cooking with Herblore and Agility, I am now cooking for fast Cook XP, Herb XP, and Agility XP. 5 minutes later, I've been auto-alking between banks so the cash stack is looking better, and we just about finished our 1k lobsters, which got us 69 cooking. The Production Master relic also gives us plus 12 in production skills, meaning we are technically 69 plus 12 cooking, or level 81. This is important to note because at level 80 we can cook sharks, which is our goal. That same shop sells raw sharks as well. Cook a shark while wearing a chef's hat completed. This rewards us with the Corrupted Shark, which is a shark that we can eat for HP that never disappears or degrades. It is a permanent food in 1 slot. I also completed a tile for reaching 500 total, which gave me an XP lamp, and I lamped Hunter hoping I would get level 53 for chins, and of course I fell short landing on 52. I got sick of constantly having to run back to the shops for alks and being poor, so we decided to take 5 minutes for QOL to simply camp this shop, buying 1 gold at a time, and get a good capital going. 66% chance of the gold not alking, so as long as RNG is on my side, the GP stack will go up quickly. After finally having 150 mil capital, I bought marble stones and made my way to Arania to train prayer. We still have to always be alking for GP, but at least I can continue playing the game now. I must have lost a clip, but one of the tiles has a shared XP tile for combats, just like the others we've been sharing. I decided on strength, ranged, and prayer. The reason is that prayer is very easy to train with Golden God because 20k raw GP counts as a dragon bone on an altar, and that can get my range and strength up, both of which I can use to kill bosses for tiles, especially range. I stayed here until 70 prayer, which was 62 range and strength. With 62 ranged, a maple shortbow, and adamant arrows from the shop, I made my way to Moss Giants, as looting a Brio kill was also a tile, so I needed a mossy key. 16 kills later, completely AFK and oblivious, we got the key. Brio has been killed, and I kind of forgot that they changed it so that the boss itself can drop keys without requiring one. That might have been easier and quicker, but oh well. Open Brio's chest, bingo tile completed. That completed a bingo row, and we now have 2 bingos so far, 2.5 hours in. Both of the rewards from completing the entire row were extra XP multipliers, giving us 8 times XP everywhere instead of 4 times. The Brio tile specifically also gave us 1 combat mastery point. These points are up to 6, and each one makes every single style stronger. I'm still auto-alking while completing all of these tasks, and every time I run low, I make 1 trip back to buy more alks. We are now up to 176 mil cash, and I promise you we do need a lot more for a 99 construction. With 8 times XP instead of 4 times, I decided to take a quick break to get 99 cooking. Every 7 ticks, we get 113k XP, 56k cooking, and 28k herblore and runecraft. This is my herblore and runecraft training methods. There is 99 cooking, our first 99 of the league. There is a task for making a Zamorak brew, which we need a torstal for. We have a forager's pouch, which gives us random herbs while training any gatherer, so I decided to woodcut willows for a bit, hoping for a torstal. While AFKing here, I was trying to look at some other tasks and other rewards that we've already gotten or can get to speed up other things. Everything was moving so quickly, it was hard to keep up. I finally got my torstal, and then I decided that it was time to train Fletching. I normally despise Fletching unlimited game modes, but I completely forgot that we have Production Master. That lets us fletch a full 150 per action instead of 15, making it 10 times faster and 10 times less clicking. There was another task requiring 5 magic logs, and what kind of Iron Man would I be if I didn't get 75 woodcut myself? I did 2 tick-teaks for a bit so that I can chop magics. There is 74 woodcutting, and I realized I can chop special attack for +3 levels, so that is good enough to leave. Quick and easy, 1 minute AFK break. I also took a few minute detour to pick a flax, as I realized I can make a bowstring and fletch my own magic shortbow for my new best in slot range weapon. Make a Zamorak brew while wearing Zamorak robes at the Zamorak Chaos Altar. Tile completed. That tile is huge because we now have the bottomless brew perk, which allows us, similar to our shark, endlessly sip any potion. They don't degrade. That's right, 1 superstore to last the entire league. Just to get started on the construction and farming skill, I bought some bagged plants for level 37. Killing a lizardman shaman was also a task, and we did not have the Shizian armor, so we had to lock in. Oh my god, having 29 HP is brutal. I got 63 construction through elemental balances, and I bought a cooking cape and stored it in my POH for a tile. This tile gave us 25% recoil against every NPC dealing damage to us everywhere. This is huge. Killing the corrupted gauntlet will give us Banker's Note, and I am 75 magic from alching and 75 range from training prayer. So it's time. I feel a bit sketched out being 31 hit points, but it is what it is. That recoil relic that we just unlocked should be massive here, due to the gauntlet's chip damage. Full tier 1 armor and a tier 3 staff and bow, and a full inventory of food. I don't want to take any chances. The normal gauntlet needs to be killed in order to unlock the corrupted, which is why we are in the blue one right now. That was not even close. I didn't even use half of my food. One and done. Now we just have to mimic that for the red one. I decided on tier 2 armor prep just in case we make any mistakes, as I really don't want to lose 10 minutes. I also leveled to 38 hit points while killing the normal gauntlet, so maybe we'll be okay. The whole kill went great, and we still had an okay amount of food thanks to the recoil. I did, however, make a very deathly mistake in the last 10 HP. I'm dead. What a relief there. I survived. Complete the corrupted gauntlet bingo tile completed. Banker's Note should make construction training a lot easier. Realistically, due to how powerful we are, the shark, the potions, I'm not even sure the Banker's Note will be useful outside of construction. I was supposed to be doing gold sinks until level 79, when I was legit losing time trying to figure out all the items needed to construct them, to where I ultimately decided to mindlessly build marble fireplaces. This requires 1 marble block and is 4.5k XP per build. Either way, I'm done in no time. All construction really is in these game modes is finding whatever is simplest to build that also uses the most supplies. This is because the XP per build on every item in the POH is just like how mahogany planks are 140 XP each. All these expensive items are their own amount of XP each as well. I moved over to portal nexuses as they required 4 marble blocks instead of 1. There was another tile locked behind 75 Hunter, so I decided to do some 1-tick Hunter and quickly bang it out. Catch a moth barehanded, completed. This auto-completed the Dragon Slayer 2 questline. There was another tile for planting a fruit tree. I did 1 farming contract and got myself 5 orange tree seeds. That was solved. While killing barrows trying to get an item for a tile, I got 29 defense by casting defensive, which was 1500 total, another tile. At 2kc, we got our Carol's leather top, which requires 70 defense to wear, otherwise I cannot complete the tile. After carefully thinking about it, I decided to use the reward from the 1500 total tile and XP lamp to lamp 70 defense. It felt like a waste, but realistically, with already half of the tiles completed, this wasn't going to be taking long. There wasn't anything to really save the lamp for. After that Barrows tile was done, I was richer and I was finally able to buy 99 construction while having a comfortable capital in case we need GP later. I finished 95 with marble fences, requiring 8 marble blocks each, and then at 95, crystal thrones for 99. 95 to 99 legit took 1 minute. 99 construction let me build a demonic throne inside my POH, another tile completed. This tile gave us a new weapon, the Thunder Kopesh, which is very good for melee later on. Kill the Kalphite Queen was also a tile, and with the recoil damage that we have, all I had to do was click my shark every 3 ticks. No! That did not just happen! Second phase, so close to the end, I clicked my shark 1 tick early and didn't notice that I didn't heal. Minus 15 minutes of my life. I had to do a brand new kill from scratch, but there we go. Kalphite Queen tile completed. That rewarded us a Drygore blowpipe, which is basically a blowpipe, and it will help us kill other bosses for more tiles. With the new blowpipe, I went to Jad for another tile, and by the way, because of my combat masteries, my blowpipe attacks every 1 tick instead of 2. I am unfortunately only using steel darts, as I had bars from when I mined iron in the first hour, and I have nothing stronger. I brought magic as well for when I move around, as all of the fight caves are weak to water spells, and my water spells are strong. I tagged 1 healer just to be safe, as I wasn't sure what my DPS would be compared to the main game, but defeat Jad tile completed. That is another questline unlocked. The questline from Jad was the Moons of Perils quest, which was another bingo tile. Open the lunar chest. Another tile to equip an Amulet of Fury, which I decided to buy uncut sapphires from the shop in Baltimore, since there are 3 in stock instead of 2 emeralds or 1 ruby. This felt faster overall. Either way, we only needed level 78 due to our production master giving us plus 12, so it wasn't long. Obtain a unique from Tombs of Amascut, we sent a 6-man 0 invocation. All of us got white lights, but it didn't matter because the thread counts as a rare drop for the tile. With this tile completion, we are able to choose our first mega rare, the T-Bow. I was very pleased when I saw that this also came with 4000 dragon arrows. I was fully expecting to be using rune. Seems I was the only one in that group with 85 range, which coincidentally enough, I was exactly 85. With our current combat masteries, our T-Bow shot every 4 ticks. Combine that with our 0 gear, no rigor yet, etc. It's legit worse than the main game. If I got 1 more combat mastery point, it would turn into a 2-tick T-Bow, 2 times better than the current. So the current tile, obtain a unique from Vorkath. The Vorkath's head does count, and it is guaranteed on 50 in the main game, although I am fairly sure that it's not boosted here. So we are going for a 1 in 50 drop, knowing it's guaranteed at 50. No salve, no Slayer Helm, the DPS is horrible. I thankfully at least got a rune dart tip drop that I was able to use instead of steel. Oh, I got a unique! Wait, tell me that counts. Yes, it does. No head, but thankfully, this does still count as a unique. What a way to end the tile. I did some AFKing at the elves while figuring out how to tackle the last part of the board, and thieving enough got me 92 agility thanks to the shared XP. That was another tile, complete floor 5 of Sepulcher. The reward from this is probably one of the most OP, because it gives us all achievement diaries. They might sound small. After all, why would I need to use the Harmony farming patch in leagues? Well, there are XP lamps rewarded for completing diaries, and we are able to claim all of them, and dump into whatever skill we want. So now, we had to play this cautiously, but also not too much. The bingo was almost over, and we have essentially infinite XP lamps and don't know what to use them on yet. It might be smart to not immediately dump every single one just in case we overlook something, but at the same time, if there needs to be something to grind, we could very easily just use some lamps just because the option is there. As soon as I realized I could lamp something, I mindlessly went to Karamja and used them all on fishing. But after that, we realized, what can I even do with fishing levels? That is when I decided to focus on other tiles. Keep this in the back of our mind. It was time to do our second raid tile, get a unique from the Theater of Blood. Hard mode top end teams is guaranteed purples for everyone, but in order to unlock hard mode, we had to do one normal mode. In normal mode, because the rates are still boosted, one person will get a purple, but we did all agree that if we were to get a purple, we would do the extra 15 minutes to guarantee everyone in the hard mode. That way the team doesn't have any headaches of having to find fills, mess up in a 4-man, or whatever else. Normal mode completed, and as I said, one person got a purple, but now it's time for hard mode. I did a delve tile right before that tob, which guaranteed me a Vernic Treads, which I realized after that tob that I couldn't even wear because I wasn't 80 defense. This is a perfect example of me quickly lamping something just because I can. Hard mode tob completed, which was a purple for everyone, and I got a kit as well. Not a scythe from the raid, but just like a Toa tile, we can now choose a scythe from the tile. Similar to the Toa experience, nobody was 90 strength. It felt painful since I knew that I could train strength with prayer or range, and it was very fast, but it didn't matter. The board was almost complete. This was just another excuse to lamp 90 strength. Another bingo tile to equip any item from God Wars Dungeon. I chose to do Zami. Of course, the first drop is a hilt, which I obviously don't have the shards for yet. I did eventually get a Steam Battle Staff that I forgot to record, but that tile was completed, which then brought me to Araxxor. Obtain any unique from Araxxor, another RNG task. We now had total recall from a different tile, which meant we can quick telly out for 100% spec every kill. And unfortunately, I'm not that powerful in the specking department yet, but I do at least have a 2-tick scythe. This tile gave me some time to somewhat AFK and figure out how I want to go about routing my last few tiles. Oh, yes, done. That gave us another XP multiplier, which honestly, we didn't really need. We are the final tier of combat mastery, meaning we are powerful. 2 ticks per T-bow shot, 100% more accuracy, piercing through protection prayers. We can pretty much just AFK Yama with a T-bow. Although I did end up doing it with a duo, because I wasn't sure how different it would be from the main game, where I hate solo Yama. Obtain a unique from Yama. That is our current tile that we are working on. We did agree that whoever gets it is allowed to leave, and the other will finish solo. Oh! TY? 15 KC, it was our last kill before my duo had to go. We got the chest. 5 tiles remained. A Colosseum kill, a unique from Chambers, 30-minute Inferno, all the Awakened bosses, and 2,000 total. I was purposely saving the 2,000 total one for last because of the diary lamps, but everything else should not take long. The 2-tick scythe that sold made him fall over pretty quick, But just in case, when we completed that Yama tile, we got Last Stand, which means even if we did die, we would have come straight back to life and not had to restart. Not that they do anything, but I found it really interesting that we got an unreal amount of uniques, 6 echo crystals and 2 armor pieces. We had a couple waves where we got multiple echo crystals in one, and I did not know that that was even possible, although I'm guessing it might be a league thing. I did do one duo CM, and the chambers tile is always a swing and a miss in these things. Instead of being guaranteed purples, because of how it is coded, the cap for points is 65% chance at a purple. They did make this year's purples a bit better, as I think in the past only one person could get a purple, but now it seems everyone on the team has a 65% chance if enough points. I don't think I've maged once this entire league, so I'm just T-bowing the mage hand doing some damage. It's quite slow. Thankfully, I did roll the 65% because I got a purple, and inside that purple I also got a dust and a kit. I think that's actually quite lucky. My duo did not get a purple, but he did get a kit which still completed the chambers tile. A rare drop from Chambers of Xerax. That is my third mega rare, the Shadow, which we will straight up probably not use. Let's go do the 30-minute Inferno and then Desert Treasure 2. In the first 40 waves or so, I was 2-tick T-bowing everything and throwing shins at the bloblets for AoE. I did, however, realize the pace was kind of slow. I then started to use my Khopesh, the AoE melee weapon. This started deleting NPCs kind of quick, but because it was a melee weapon, it was somewhat rough running around the room trying to keep attacking things 24/7. The time was cutting it very close. I started the triple jabs with only 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to hit the 30-minute timer. That was 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to kill 3 Jads and then all of Zuck, including the cutscene. 3 Jads were deleted within 30 seconds, which left me a little under 2 minutes for Zuck. The 2-tick Kiba was just so strong. I now realize the time was free. Because I was a bit tired at this point and didn't feel like accidentally missing a flick at Jad, I decided to play it safe and kill the Jad, knowing that I don't have to worry about flicking during healers. As soon as the healers spawned, I tried to keep attacking Zuck to see if I could out DPS them, but it wasn't possible. Tagging them and then simply attacking Zuck for 5 seconds does work though. I got dragged by accident trying to attack every 2 ticks, but it didn't matter since we have Last Stand from other tiles. The insta revived me and allowed me to finish the kill, plus tile as it was under 30 minutes. All that's left now is the Awakened bosses. Let's get Blorva. The thing about Blorva in this game mode is that we still need 4 of the Awakener orbs, minimum. Each orb is 1 attempt at the boss, and obviously if we fail, we have to Iron Man to get another. Let's hope we can stick to 4. I managed to get my first orb on kill number 2. I saved my recall so that I can start speccing every kill for faster orbs, but when I re-entered the instance, I mindlessly pressed 1, which means we are now attempting Awakened Vard. I was at a slight advantage as I did this somewhat recently on the main game, but this was nothing like it. Vard went to half HP before the first range orb, which meant that I forgot that when at 700 health and lower, it throws a mage plus range, meaning I have to flick my prayer 3 times. The DPS was so unordinary that I forgot how to do this and ended up just clicking the boss for the rest of it. The gauntlets that I got from Soul also give me double health when I eat any food, so I'm able to somehow combo eat the insane amounts of damage that you get dealt here. It wasn't clean, but it was free. That's 1 out of 4 bosses completed. This boss was still my best in slot for farming orbs, as each kill was about 10 seconds. Since I was able to teleport out to refill my spec every time, and the Khopesh is so powerful with 5 specs. The reason we have 5 specs was another bingo tile reward. Every spec costs 20%. 43 Vard kills later, we had 3 orbs to do the remaining 3 bosses. All we had to do was not mess up. These bosses were nothing like the main game. Between 2-tick Scythe and Last Stand, Duke was just like Vard. Click the boss and it died. Of course we get a Virtus row bottom on that. Alright. I want to say the Leviathan was a bit harder than the other two if trying to brute force, as you needed to do some of the mechanics from the main game for getting to Enrage. If we do get to Enrage though, which is the hard part of the kill if not going in blind, Last Stand makes it free. That was 3 to 4 bosses, another one and done. The last one, the Whisperer, the most annoying. This fight is horrible in the main game because it is an 8-minute fight with good mage gear, and in leagues it's equally as bad. Perhaps not 8 minutes, but it's still a very long fight, and we accidentally used our Last Stand very early on, so we might not have it back by the end. This is scary. 300 HP to Enrage, still no Last Stand, but we are pacing to be just fine. I just had to kill all the Sanitus ghosts like usual and wait for them to explode. Oh my god, I missed one? I was legit AFK waiting for the phase to end, and yet somehow, because I didn't see a ghost, we are dead. I now had to farm Vard for one more orb. Orb attempt number 2 on kill 56. Here we go. Oh, and I forgot to mention, but the reason we are T-Bow and Whisperer is because the accuracy buff from the combat masteries make it good. As I promised earlier, we don't even need this shadow. I'm about to enter Enrage, and just like my last attempt, I fell asleep during one of the phases earlier and don't have my Last Stand. I have to play this very safe. Defeat all 4 awakened bosses, tile completed. I still technically needed to get 27 more total levels for the actual final tile, 2k total, but realistically, there was nothing to train. It was time to claim those remaining lamps. One set of lamps got me 57 to 77 mining, and with the second set of lamps, there it is. Reach 2000 total level tile completed. This board took me just barely over 18 hours to complete, giving me rank 16 according to the high scores. I think a lot of people finish around the hours of 15 to 25, so me being done at hour 18, I would say I'm fairly happy with my rank and time. Anyways, this was an extremely long episode, and if any of you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed it. I didn't expect the grid to be so completable so quickly, so I figured I'd just throw everything in one episode and then go back to the main game. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you all next time. Peace out.